Hi everyone, it's oops. Hi everyone, it's Meade Skelton with another vlog chat for you today. Oops, I'm drinking some sweet tea. Good. Yeah, okay. So I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to use a green screen today. So I got this books around me to make me look more intellectual. um, Let me have a piece of chocolate. A piece of chocolate helps me. No, I'll have that later. Okay. So I want to do another vlog chat about personality theory, which I've talked about earlier. And I know I talked about how we need God to lead our personality. But what happens when we have a damaged personality, when people suffer trauma and abuse? And I have to say, according to Myers-Briggs, I'm an INFP. I actually believe that my true personality was really an ENFJ. I believe that I was an extrovert that suffered extreme abuse and emotional trauma that caused me to be an introvert. And if it's before the age of 30, I really believe it's possible that you can change your personality for better or for worse. Could I become an extrovert again? I don't know. I've been so damaged by things that have happened in my life. So it begs the question, can an extrovert who's been damaged enough inside, can they become an introvert? And I would say yes. And I would say that once that transition happens, it'd be very hard to get back to yourself. And I think I definitely still have the traits and elements of my true self, my extroverted personality. Very loving, very warm. I can be externally focused when I need to be. But I believe that all the years I suffered, I was bullied in school tremendously. I didn't get much emotional support from my family, and my mother died when I was 11 years old. My father was very busy with his work. He had a lot of financial issues, and we moved around a little bit, not a whole lot when I was growing up. But I didn't have any friends. I was very isolated, and I wanted friends, but the isolation caused me to go inward, as did the constant bullying and criticisms that I faced on a daily basis. Every day I was going to school, it was like a battlefield. I was always, taunted, tormented, emotionally, verbally, physically. I had physical things done to me, which I don't want to go into. I also had something done to me as a child, which I don't want to discuss. But I believe these things, over time, I believe what happened was it destroyed my personality. It made me change or split. And it's very difficult to talk about because it's sort of personal, but I really would love to be an extrovert again, a complete extrovert, where, I'm, excited about things outside of myself. I don't want to be so inward and so self-focused, but it started, my change happened as a teenager, and a lot of teenagers can go through that phase, but I think that had I not been so isolated, had my mother not died at such a young age, had I not been abused in various ways, that I think I would have held on to my extroverted sense of self. My pull inward was a way to cope with the environment around me. It was a coping mechanism. And I think that psychologically, when we're damaged, we have to do that or we're just going to, it's either sink or swim. So my introverted personality took over, and somehow the introvert inside of me was the determining factor in how I handled these situations. The extrovert could not handle the situation, believe it or not. It was the introvert that did so. And what I believe is there can be a schism in our personality traits. And also being on the autism spectrum, my personality is affected somewhat of being autistic because I do tend to have very black and white ways of thinking. I'm very opinionated in some ways, and I don't like. Well, the weird thing about being a so-called INFP is you think that being an INFP, I love change and I love surprises. Well, I do if I'm in control of it, but I hate it when the surprises are pushed on me. I don't like that at all. I don't like surprises, and I think it goes back to the trauma of when I had the insecurities my childhood. Now I'm studying psychology in school, and a lot of it is very edifying and very eye-opening, and explains to me the process in which, as young children, they talk about the securely attached child and the insecurely attached and the slow to warm up child. I believe I was a secure child, but I had a dysfunctional family. My mother was not stable. My father was at work, and I have an older sibling that was out of control because she was highly autistic, and she would push me down the stairs. She would threaten to hit me. My mother was overwhelmed, and I don't blame my mother. She did the best she could, but raising 5 children, being the youngest of 5 children, and I experienced all of that, and I believe the extrovert in me was crushed, and I became this introverted person. So I would like to know what people think about this. I remember as a child, I would walk up to total strangers and hug them. I was always wanting to make friends. I was always outgoing. I was very this way till around the age of 12 or 13. And then I just became inward. I got isolated and separated along the way. So what do you think? Do you think that an extroverted person could, if damaged enough, could become an introvert, or vice versa? Could an introvert become an extrovert? And let me know in the comments section below. This is a very interesting question that a lot of people struggle with. Can you change your personality? And I believe that, in a sense, we can, if it happens early enough, that our personalities can be affected by the environment. Largely, I believe our personalities are genetic. Strong genetic component. Anyway, I just want to share that with everybody, that I am a battered extrovert who became an introvert, and I sort of, struggle with going back and forth, because, to a lot of people I probably come across as an extrovert, but I'm not. I'm very inward. I'm very self-reflective, contemplating. And it just really, I think, the years of abuse and emotional trauma that I suffered really destroyed me. It did that. But God has healed me in many ways. And God told me the other day, I remember He said, "Don't reject yourself. Why are you doing this to yourself? I created you. I made you. Don't reject yourself." And it's very important that we don't reject ourselves. We have to. Now, I don't believe in this. Love yourself. That's not what it means. It just means that we appreciate what God did. We appreciate that we are His creation. Satan hates us. Satan hates the body of Christ, and he hates us as human beings because we were made in the image of God. And there's nothing more than Satan wants to do than pull you down and destroy you. Now, will I ever be a true extrovert again? I don't know. I do know that parts of me come out, and I think the performer side is definitely that way. But I'm just here to say that I really do believe that this happened, and I think it's happened to other people. So if you have a similar story, please share that in the comment section below. And thank you for watching. I'm Meade Skelton. God bless you. And go to my website at meadskeltonsplace.com. Bye.